Bye. Oh.
Oh. Hey, Lynn, we're already in the middle of May. Can you believe it? It's going by so fast. I mean, that's already the fifth month of the year. And
yeah, it still feels like it's just January. It just turned 2021, right?
I mean, everything is moving by so quickly, including celebrating your birthday.
Oh my goodness.
So happy belated birthday.
Oh, thank you.
You know, the thought of Yuntaku again being in its 40th now, and
40th episode.
40th, yeah. And a lot of people, we get calls here at the center when Lynn is not on Yuntaku. They say, "Where's Lynn? Is she okay? You haven't seen her on the show." But I want to remind everybody that Yuntaku is a great way for everyone to, of course, get to know our guests. But at the same time, I think going forward, we want to also introduce everyone to new hosts as well, and
exactly.
bring in different hosts every week. And a lot of our younger ones out there will probably be joining us on Yuntaku Live as a host, so people get to be familiar with them as well. So, but again, thank you for joining us again for Yuntaku Live.
Yes.
Look at that.
We're super excited. Hello, everyone. Long time no see, I feel like I should say. Thank you again for joining us for our 40th episode of Yuntaku Live. I can't believe it. It's really been a pleasure. And just like John said, now that everyone is a little bit, it's been a year now. There's a lot of people who are a lot familiar with this video streaming, right? Everyone has cameras and the computer is kind of set up now. So we want to say thank you to everyone who continues to chime in. And look, we got Linda and Janine right there on the dot. First ones to comment every time. And then we also have people from Okinawa today, especially because of our special guest, Suguru Ikeda. But we'll get more into that later. First, we want to make sure that we do some updates, right, John?
Yes.
All right. So I know that for those of you who did the Andagi drive, who picked up Andagi, what was that, the 25th? Many of you also got your Uchinanchu annuals. And I'm going to go shameless plug. You can still buy them. If you didn't get a chance to buy them you could buy them during the Andagi sale. And for those of you who have never had an Uchinanchu annual, this might be a great one to get. It's like a yearbook of all the different things that we did. And of course, what's I think really neat is that there's, of course, our virtual Okinawan festival, but we still had our scholarship recipients, and we just want to thank all the clubs too who put in ads and things like that to really helped us survive the pandemic. So go ahead. This is a wonderful gift. All of my family members, you're getting one. And they're on our shop HUOA.com too. $10. Yeah.
Like Lynn says, this is a great omiyage. I mean, I know we haven't been able to travel, but how else to better show what happens and goes on during the year, and even in a supposedly quiet year with 2020.
Quite a bit of things, yeah.
Yeah. We still went through a lot of different virtual programming, and so and we forget. It's how quick we forget. So the annual is a great way to just pop it open, flip through the pages, and hi, Sai, aloha to Jamie Tengan from Naha.
We got people from Naha. We have our look at this, Minami no Shima. Okinawa kara aroha isaite. Hi, Karen. We're super excited also to hear from Suguru Ikeda. Fangirling a little bit over here. So
I know Karen is probably saying, "Hurry up! Just bring Suguru on." So how about we do that right now? Why don't we welcome Ikeda-san to Yuntaku Live?
All right, let's bring him on. Hey,
genki
desu ka?
Suguru. Genki yo. Long time no see.
Yeah. Hi. Joining us from Okinawa. Actually, even more so, Okinawa. Tell us a little bit. Maybe John, you want to maybe introduce who he is for some of our viewers. You've actually known him for a long time, yeah?
Yes, I first met Suguru back in 2012. We went golfing.
That's almost a
I mean,
decade ago, you know.
oh my gosh, yeah. So in fact, I think we have a photo of you, myself, and oh no, in 2012 we went golfing with Mamoru Miyagi.
うん。
覚えて? So we went
覚えて
golfing
る、覚えてる。I remember.
with Mamoru from Ishigaki. Mamoru Miyagi is close to
Miyagi.
Suguru on Iriomote on Ishigaki Island where he grew up. And then in 2019, when so let me go back. In 2012, Chinagu Asa and Naha Daiko celebrated Kansha, and that was Naha Daiko's 10th anniversary, I believe. And so then and we'll talk about Ikeda-san's connection to Naha Daiko, but they came to Hawaii to join together for a great concert in 2012, and then they had another concert in 2015 that Ikeda-san didn't come, but then he came back for Kansha number 3 in 2019. So in 2019, of course, we had to do the most important thing is to go golfing again. Yeah.
Yes. He was here for Chinagu Asa. Let's the concert. Let's remind everyone that.
No, he came to golf and then he went to the concert when he had time. So in the photo you see Notch from Naha Daiko, and then and of course Suguru. Suguru, you think he's like this kind of slim, very very, I don't know what to say. You think he's like a architect or something. I don't know. He just seems
what kind of golfer is he?
Split up build, and then he'll hit the ball 300 yards.
Sugoi.
Sugoi. But anyway. Yeah, but real quick.
ゴルフのためにハワイに来てるとみんな思ってるんだけど。
本当だね。
And he doesn't play golf. There's no golf courses on Iriomote. I want to show people Iriomote real quick.
Do we have?
Yeah, we have the map of Iriomote because Iriomote is the second largest island in the Okinawa chain. So there's Okinawa Island, which is stretched out, but Iriomote is slightly smaller than Kauai, if I'm not mistaken. And you see those blocks. I didn't put those blocks in, but the the most, there's only, Suguru, how many people on Iriomote?
Iriomote wa all people are 2,000. 2,000.
Yeah, wow, less than high school.
いや、そうだね。そう、人口はやっぱり2000人なんだけど、大きいですよね。
島は大きいね。Yeah, big.
So for those of you who don't know, Iriomote is like almost as far as you can get down away from Okinawa main island. ね。もう本当にit's like I've heard it described as the Amazon of Okinawa. なんかmost of it is a nature preserve ね。なんかあれ国立かな公園なんだけど。
そう。世界遺産、世界遺産とか国立公園にもなってる。
Much of Iriomote is actually a national park. It's a national treasure because it is
a reserve.
So yeah, it's a nature preserve.
And they are a stone's throw from Taiwan.
そう。台湾の方が近いんですよね。実は。
いや近いね、台湾。
I think Ikeda-san can hit Taiwan with a golf ball. But
しかしゴルフでパンと台湾で。
So if those of you that are looking at the map, on the lower right-hand corner is kind of where the largest, most of the 2,000 people live there. And then you go all the way to where you see the two red blocks on the left side of the map in the center. That's where Ikeda-san lives. And there's his village is called Funauki. It's so small that you can't get there by car. You have to go by boat. and therefore there are no vehicles in his little village. ねえ、池田さん。
ね。うん。
車ない。
そう。何もないね。ちっちゃくて、道がないね、道が。車で船浮きに行けない。
No roads. There's no paved road in his village.
Wow. So we have a Okinawa famous singer, songwriter, and musician joining us today from the remote corner of Iriomote Jima. I think for those of you who are looking at a map right now, you can see just how amazing it is that we're all able to connect via technology. もう本当にすごいですよね。なんかインターネットでこういうなんか遠いところをなんか一緒にもうライブで生放送みたいな感じでできるのはすごいと思いますね。そうだね。I think it's just amazing. 船浮き has, I didn't know that. They don't have any cars.
How many people in 船浮き？
船浮きは40
40人。
One student.
そうそう。池田さんの家族は何名？
for my
そう。10% だね。
そう、10%。No. My father, my
more than 10%.
そう、more than 10%。そうだね。ということは、ちょっと船浮きで、生まれ育ちですよね。
はい、そうです。
じゃあ、ちょっと、船浮きとか西表、その子供の頃についてちょっと聞きたいんですけど、we want to hear a little bit more about his family, history.
Yep.
Growing up in a special place like that must have been really amazing. So tell us about your early years.
だから、なんていうのかな。
かわいい。
おばあちゃんが畑仕事をしてるとき、おばあちゃんが畑仕事、僕は遊んでた。
This is while his grandmother was doing work in the fields and he was just playing. He would play around her, around the area. ねえ。すごい。
だから、お友達がいないので、こうして海に行ったり山に行ったり、おじいちゃんおばあちゃんたちとずっと遊んでました。
So he was very close with his, grandma and grandpa because he said no friends in the area. So he would always play in the ocean, play in the mountains, and, of course, like be around his grandma and grandpa a lot. こっちの写真は？
これは my father と my mother.
Mother and father だね。
my sister. me.
お父さんお母さんも西表出身ですか？
そうです、西表。
すごい。
お父さんお母さん。
すごい。なんか。
Younger brother?
Sister.
Sister.
妹。
sister.
姉ちゃん。姉姉
ちゃん。
old sister? Sister. 姉ちゃん。
西表の学校、中学校まではあるんですよね。
中学校ある。
すごい。かわいい。これはどこ？これは
宮古アイランド。
そう。
宮古
島。Another neighbor island or outer island of Okinawa ね。じゃあ、あちこちに結構行けましたんですよね。
行った、はい。遊びに。
沖縄本島、すごい。すごい。あれ、the fishing must be amazing out there.
お父さんは海中？
そうだね。海も行くし、山もイノシシ取ったり、魚取ったり、何でもする。ハンター。
フィッシャーマン。すぐるさんも？
僕もやる。
フィッシングとか、ハンティング。イノシシとか。
イノシシ。
In the mountains.
すごい。
In the mountains. What do you hunt in the mountains?
罠であったりとか、ガンであったりとか。
あれ、もう一回ごめん。イノシシとか、ピッグだね。
イノシシ、ワイルドピッグね。
Yeah, wild pigs.
だけ。イノシシだけね。
あれだけ？
あれは、他は、なんていうの？ Preserve, it's a nature preserve だからね。I don't think they can take anything else but the wild pigs. イノシシはもともと西表に昔からあった。
いる。昔からいる。
すごい。
いや、ヤギいない。
ヤギいないね。
ヤギないんだ。じゃあ、すぐるさんも、船浮きで生まれ育ちなんだけど、your family も、ね、自分の家族も、今、船浮きに。You have family for wife and 2 kids? なんだって？
いや。
はい。じゃあ、それは、いいね。なんか、すごい楽しそうな子供。ね、時、多分、純粋な時だったんだよね。西表の、こういうふうに、結構みんな、沖縄の人でもあんまり西表とかに行ったことない人は多いんですよね。
多い。
Yeah, there's actually a lot of people in Okinawa who've never been to 西表。ね。
沖縄の人はその、離島島には行かない、あんまりね。沖縄の人は東京とか大阪とかね。シティが大好き。
ちょっと質問があるんだけど、2つの質問。皆さん、自転車とかでやるんですか？モペとか、バイク？船置きで。車ないから。
very small village. 200 meter. 200 meter? 50 meter.
そう、いらない。
only いらない。walk only.
島ぞりだけ。
はい。
島ぞり。
2番目の質問。西表猫見たことありますか？
いや、many times.
many times. 鳥もあるんだよね。なんか、いろんな西表しかない。
冠橋。
はい。西表しかない。Eagle ね。There's very endangered species that live on Iriomote and they're only found in Iriomote, nowhere else in the world. And the Iriomote neko is one of them.
山猫。
Eagle. あと、ね、there's a few. Turtle, yeah.
Turtle.
手丸箱亀ね。亀。
はい。Okay. Actually, tell us about this photo is actually more recent, ne? This is the Olympic torch, but we'll get to that later. Okay.
But how old are your children in this photo? 何歳？
Tan is 4 years old と、
9
years old.
9 years old. So your daughter is 9 and whoa!
It's Halloween.
かっこいい。
Halloween.
Is that your wife?
Oh. ゆかちゃん。
奥さんですよね。
Yeah.
My wife. かわいい。
かわいい。Okay, so 奥さんは名前はゆか。
ゆかさん。
And then your daughter 娘名前は
まほ
ちゃん。And then
意味は
マジック。
まほはtrue
true like
go straight.
And then 息子
はゆうと
の意味は何？
今4歳。
ゆうとはゆうが助けるだから help だから助けるぐらい優しい人になってほしい。
いい名前ですね。So his son's name is Yuto, which means like to be a, you, the kanji for you, there's many different ways to write it, but he chose the one that's the type that a helper. And so he wants his son to be the type of person who helps people. His daughter is Maho, and Maho is to, the on the straight path. かな質問 we have a question from Ford over here. How do you get from Iriomote to Okinawa? How long does it take? Is there an airport?
No. まず、
No.
walk ship.
Yeah, walk to the port
car?
and then you get on a boat. Boat to どこに？船は。
マイボートで白浜エアポートに、白浜シーポートにマイボートで行って、で、白浜シーポートから、上原シーポートまでマイカー。
Okay. So there's like
上原
okay, wait. He
西表の
walks to his boat. He gets in his boat and he goes to Shirahama Bay. From there, he goes to Uehara Port. This is all still in Iriomote.
で、西表の上原シーポートから、石垣シーポートまで船。
船。
Jacob, bring the map up again.
1 hour.
1 hour. Okay, so that's a 1 hour boat ride from Uehara Seaport to Ishigaki Island.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're already outside. So he goes from the double box area. He takes a boat to Uehara, which is on the top, that box on the top. And then from that port, he takes a 1 hour boat to Ishigaki Island.
Yeah.
で、石垣から、
石垣のシーポートから石垣エアポートまでタクシーで30分。
30分もかかる
の。で、石垣エアポートからエアで那覇空港ね。
長いね。
1時間。
So
no.
Literally
4
walking
hours.
boats,
4 hours.
taxis and airplanes. Planes, trains, and automobiles almost, right? From his home to, he has 3 different ports he has to get to before he gets to Ishigaki Airport, where he can finally take a flight to Okinawa main island.
全部は4 hour.
4 hours.
全部
で。
まあ、1日くらいかかるんだよね。
半分ね。
half a day. すごい。
Wow.
I don't think most people don't get a chance, ね。to go to Iriomote.
But if they go to Iriomote, they have to go to Funauki-so. Funauki-so is where, that's where. So Funauki-so, I guess translated would be like Funauki Villa.
Yeah.
And but that's where Ikeda-san lives, and so maybe he can tell us a little bit about Funauki-so.
西表島Funaukiの民宿。
僕の実家。
すごい。これ、畳、民宿で、例えば観光客とか
いっぱい。夏はいっぱい来ます。
Okay, so a lot of people come to stay at their little, what they call 民宿. You know, it's a guest house. And, 畳とか。
そう、畳もあるね。畳ルームが。
ルーム、部屋があるんだ。So, Funauki-so. 楽しみ。So, after you make your long journey all the way to Funauki, you can stay here. ね。じゃあ、沖縄からの観光客とかビジターですね。沖縄から多分みんな大体那覇から石垣で石垣から船西表で多分同じように上原から船沖まで。
そう。
So this is brand new ね、池田さん。
新しいね。
Wow, I was gonna say it looks really nice.
先月。
last month.
Yeah.
Wow.
コロナでね、ずっとクローズだから、その間に新しいの作りました。
Well, he said, during Corona, the pandemic, they had very few visitors, right? So they were closed. So they took the opportunity to renovate. So this just opened last month. So I was thinking.
でも、できたけど、まだオープンしてないですね。まだパンデミック。
So you're getting a world premiere, ね。
もう少しね。
of your
How many rooms?
5 rooms.
5 rooms.
Yeah.
Oh, so we could go with maybe 10 people.
また。
すごい。 じゃあ、あんまりレストランとかはないと思いますけど、
ないない。
そう、だからみんな、その民宿で船木そうでみんな食べてるんですよね。
そうそうそうそう。
なんか美味しそうな。
美味しい。
I just imagine, like, the food must be so good, right? Fresh.
うん。
And so, what kind of,
船浮き飯、誰作る？
yeah.
my father.
Father が、
お
your
ー
father cooks? Your father cooks. Wow. That's amazing. So it's really like a restaurant. Oh,
あ、イノシシスープ、イノシシスープ。
Wow.
oh my goodness.
This-
This is making me hungry.
So
じゃあ、
in case no one
天ぷら
caught that, he said this is a wild boar soup.
うん。
イノシシスープで、
イノシシスープ
その刺身も、
刺身。
what kind of fish is that? なんだろう。
なんだろ
美味しそうだね。
う。
もずく天ぷら
And
も
then。
I
あ
see
ー
もずく天ぷら。で、やっぱり野菜炒めみたいな感じの。美味しそう。なんかヘルシーって感じですよね。うわ、何これ。スープ、
ブレックファスト。
ブレックファスト。やっぱりヘルシーだね。梅干しとか卵。
Wow, I want that for breakfast.
Oh man, this is breakfast. This is all, none of us have been able to travel during the pandemic, right? Over a year now ね。1年間も日本とか沖縄に行けることができないから、これでちょっと悲しいな、なんか、また行きたいなと思うんですよね。Like even just the breakfast alone, right? I think a lot of us who have visited Japan and Okinawa multiple times are missing that a lot right now.
So Ikeda-san, do you help at the at your bed and breakfast or do you do tours? Do you do tours from there?
民宿でそう、クッキングとか、ツアーとか、西表の
ツアーやってる。シュノーケル
シュノーケル
シュノーケルとかトレッキングとか。
トレッキング。
ハイキング、チェッキング。
西表ハイキングなんか、You have to know what you're doing でしょ？なんか、そんなに、なんか、経験ない人はちょっと危ない？
大丈夫。
大丈夫？ OK。
大丈夫。問題ない。No problem.
すごい。
Welcome.
Yeah, people are saying, wow, the food looks so 美味しそうだね。and then congratulations in advance for the UNESCO World Heritage なるんですか？
そう。
Wow, that's amazing. そう。じゃあ、西表島っていう、西表全部。
いや、西表と徳之島、徳之アイランド、あと奄美アイランド。
すごい。So, for those of you who, I think a lot of people in Okinawa even know Suguru Ikeda for his music and for his performances, but I don't think anybody has probably delved into your life in 西表なんかについてちょっとみんな聞きたいわけ。あんまり西表出身の人に会うことがないですね。So we have, is there any habu? 西表？
いる。Many hub.
Many hub. OK。だからトレッキングはちょっとね。
なんていうのかな。ファニーおじさんがいて、面白いおじさん。I have hub. 面白いおじさんが、ハブを捕まえて、I have hub っていう、ユーモアなおじさんがいるの。
やるの？
I have hub.
I have hub って、そのまま。
ジョークで、そういうおじさんがいる。好きな、ジョーク大好きなおじさんが、いつも I have hub って言ってるの。分かってる。
This is not the 裸おじさん, right?
裸おじさんもいない。
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sorry. For people who, habu is a snake. Yes. Habu is the very poisonous and venomous snake in Okinawa. So, やっぱり子供の頃とか、西表を、生まれ育ちなんだけど、やっぱり学校とかに行ったら、どんどんね、高校はどこ、 石垣島石垣に行くんですか？
沖縄アイランド、沖縄水産高校。
水産。はいはい。
沖縄水産高校。
水産。
海の学校。いや、糸満の糸満。
水産なんだ。
Well, but I think I could be wrong, but the reason he went there was because they have a very strong baseball program.
Oh, so Okinawa Suisan High School, the one that he went to, is actually on Okinawa main island. じゃあ遠いなんだ。
遠い。
遠いね。You lived in a dorm? Dorm? 寮だね。寮に住んでたんだね。
寮に住んでた、そう。野球部の寮があるの。野球の寮が。
So there's a dorm specifically for the baseball players who go there. みんなやっぱり時はやっぱりみんな野球部ね。
野球部。
Okay, see, he started at a young age.
じゃあ野球は子供の頃から野球部とか西表にはないんじゃない。じゃあどういうふうに練習したんですか？
シャドーピッチング。
シャドーピッチング。
壁。
Against the wall? You practice against the wall? これすぐるさんですか？すごい沖水さんだね。This is a typical. ピッチャーなんですか？
ピッチャーです。はい。
ピッチャー。Oh, wow. すごい。
Yeah, that Marine High School, they supposedly had one of the strongest teams in Okinawa for a long time.
Yeah, they're always a contender, ne? For the baseball championships, high school baseball. For those of you who don't know, high school baseball in not just Okinawa, but in Japan in general is a really big deal. Yeah, it's very
bigger
big
than college.
Yeah, it is bigger than college, right? So, and there's this big tournament every year that everyone goes to. And, 行きましたか？
甲子園。僕の時は負けた。ファイナルで、決勝戦で。
痛いな。
これ、決勝戦の写真ね。
これが決勝戦ですか？
そう。で、その後ろの浦添商業、パープルのユニフォームが甲子園に行って、ベスト4に入ってたね。
まあ、ベスト4に。
そう、相手が勝ったところがね。
じゃあ、甲子園じゃなくて、野球からミュージックに入るのは、どういうふうに、やっぱり、ミュージックにスタートしましたか？
野球も、その大学でもやりたかったけれども、でもやっぱり最後は島に帰りたいっていうのがあって、でとても音楽も好きだし、で、まあ、持って帰れる仕事をやりたかった。その島でもできる仕事。
Okay. So I asked him, so how did you get from baseball in high school? When you're a baseball player at that level of school, like that's your life, right? So how did you go from baseball to music? And he said that when he was in college, he also wanted to play baseball, but he also thought about what could he do. So, eventually he would want to return home. Eventually he wants to go back to Iriomote. So what could he bring? What kind of skill, what kind of job could he bring that he could still take back with him to Iriomote? So, and then, so 次、
But he started music a lot sooner than college.
でも、子供の頃からちょっと
やってたん
ですね。
やっぱり、友達いないから雨が降ったりすると、音楽やってた。
おじいさんおばあさんとか周りの人みんな。
三味線で、三味線やってるし、お父さんがまたギターやってたし。
ギター。
My father plays ギター。で、my mother plays piano。なので、いろいろ。はい。
Talented family だ。なんだ。
No. 遊びでね、遊びで。
Yeah, so he said,
earlier. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so he said that, of course he was kind of surrounded by music. Everyone plays a little bit, right, of sanshin. みんなちょっとだけぐらいね。sanshin できるから、and his father played guitar, his mother played piano, and so music was probably just one of those things that I think when you live on an island too like that, right, where there's not a ton of people around you, everyone learns a little bit of music.
Well, I thought he said that he had no friends, and when it rains, there's nothing to do, so might as well play music.
That is true ね。友達いないからね。言って
友達はもう子供が少ないからね、どうしても。
子供少ないから。Yeah, there's not many children, right? So he keeps saying, yeah, I never had any friends, so I had to do something, right? But 面白い。Oh boy. So what was your favorite type of music in high school とか college? なんか一番大好きなミュージックは何だった？
もう、何でも聞くね。
何でも。
フォークソングとか、それから、まあ、
民謡
も好きね。演歌も好きだったね。
ポッ
プス。オリジナル。I like original.
Nice. And so what Okinawan instruments? なんか、三振やっぱりみんな三振、でわかるけど、ギターもやるんですか？
ギターもちょっとだけ。ちょっとだけ。でもやっぱり三味線は昔は、僕なんか子供の頃はやっぱりおじいちゃんの楽器みたいな、そういうイメージが。若い人はみんなギターがかっこいいみたいなね。だから、そう。
ウクレレも。
ウクレレはね、割と最近っても10年ぐらいですかね。
here, 三振。でもやっぱり、なんて言うんだろう。ティーネイジャーの時に、三味線とか三振はちょっと年の楽器と思うけど、でもやっぱり、年取ったらやっぱり、やりたいなと思なるんだよね。私もちょっと思うんですよね。I think like what he was saying earlier was that, when you're a kid, you think of samisen and sanshin as kind of like old people's instrument, right? But and it's so much cooler to play guitar, right? All the young guys want to play guitar. やっぱみんなやっぱりかっこいいからってみんなギターでやりたいんですよね。
そうだね。
Yeah. But and only recently has he learned also the ukulele. Probably within the last 10 years or so, he picked up the ukulele. So やっぱりでも三振はね、やっぱりすごい民謡とかね、やっぱり文化があるからね、ルーツがあるから、やっぱり周りの人は民謡とかみんな喜ぶんですよね。
そうだよね。
はい。これ、いいね。ウクレレ。
言葉ダウン。
ウクレレ写真ですね。
ウクレレ写真。
So, what songs are your favorite? 一番、三振だったら、歌三振。wait. This is a ウクレレメーカー？
ウクレレメーカーやカニレやウクレレメーカー。
はい。In Honolulu?
Yeah, very famous ukulele.
Yeah. So you have many, I guess you have many ukuleles? Ukulele. その
Yeah.
That's his Kanilea. Kaniohi, from Kaniohi.
Nice. Well, we're really excited to hear some of those. So I'm sure everyone's waiting to hear one of your songs, ね。So でも歌だけじゃなくて書くんですよね。You also write.
ね、そう。全部自分で作詞してる。作曲してる。作って歌ってます。はい。
So what is your some of your favorite ギターも弾くんですか？
これギターね、今。
I'm excited to hear his first performance. Are we jumping ahead? But
no, well, before you start your song, I mean, this is the first song that you wrote. And how old were you when you wrote this song?
19.
19? Wow. So you were very young.
Freshman in college, right? I mean, usually. So what inspired you to write this song?
そのインスピレーション。
やっぱり 僕の船置き、島がどんどん小さくなって、もしかしたらなくなってしまうんじゃないかな。村がね。だから、いつまでもふるさとがあってほしいという思いで、もう小さい頃からずっとそういう思いがあって、それで、19の時に作りました。
So this is the first song that he wrote. He was only 19 years old at the time. And what inspired him to write it was that, he comes from this very small village called Funoki. And he always had this sense of this fear of maybe, it's getting smaller and smaller and maybe they would lose it, one day. So he always wanted to write a song about his feelings and his kind of, being an island person like that is, I think, from a very small village. Is what inspired him to write this song. So,
okay, let's let everyone hear the song that you wrote when you were only 19 years old.
島の人よ。
はい、どうぞ。
生まれ島を離れ暮らす島の人よ覚えてますか生まれ島の祭り歌を大きな夢を都会に描く島の人よ強く育てたあなたの島こそが夢の島よ島の人よまたいつの日か祭り咲かせてみようじゃないか島の人よまたあの海でサバにこいでみようじゃないか島を離れ帰らぬ人よ島の人よどこにいますか何してますかお元気ですか都会で暮らし手にしたものも大切だけど何よりも大事にしてほしい生まれ島を島の人よまたいつの日かふるさと咲かせてみようじゃないか島の人よまたあの海でサバにこいでみようじゃないか島の人よいつの日かふるさと咲かせてみようじゃないか島の人よいつまでも生まれ島を忘れないで生ま れ島を忘れないではい。
Oh, that was amazing. Like people said, what a powerful voice you have. And mind you, everyone, this is like from his room with just his mic, like just his, there's no fancy
His laptop.
microphones or anything, his laptop. But you can feel the power coming from that voice. And thank you.
And just the feeling, when he sings that song. And I think as a songwriter, it's extra special because you can just feel his heart coming through his songs. We all know what he looks like, seeing Yuntaku live. But when he got started, we have some photos of him when he first got started.
のフォトなんですか?
Yeah. Let's take a look at some of those.
何年これ?
沖縄のデビューは21 years old.
Wow, so he was 21 years old.
CD デビューね。CD のレコードデビュー。
CD. So this was his first debut when he was 21 years old. So I think, wow. And that was when, this song first came out. ね、この歌で、島の
そうそうそう。デビューソング。
His debut song. It's probably one of his most popular songs. It's one of the most iconic songs that he's known for. これ何年? 2002. もうほぼ20 years ago って感じ。Wow.
この写真はどこ撮った?
これはどこかな? 沖縄かな?
どこかなだい? 一番この20年の中で一番なんかこのライブはすごかったよっていうのありますかね?
やっぱりハワイの沖縄フェスティバルね。でも全部覚えてる。もう全部とってもなんだろうな。そうどれが一番ってないかな。
ないんですよね。全
部覚えてる。
でもやっぱりこのハワイに来た時にやっぱ那覇大鼓と一緒でしたね。どういうふうに那覇大鼓と How did you connect with Naha Daiko? He's come with Naha Daiko when he's performed here in Hawaii a lot of times, which is also the sister club, I would say, or sister unit in Okinawa for Chinagu Asa. で、どういうふうにNaha Daikoとのコネクションは？
もうそのミニアルバムに那覇大鼓がその二来家内へっていう曲があって、その二来家内を那覇大鼓がエイサーの演舞で使ってくれたの。それがきっかけ。
いいですね。And I believe you also performed that during your Okinawan festival performance, ne? I'm sure, I know they did. And I'm sure many of you who will hear the song will recognize it maybe as one of the songs that maybe you've heard Chinagu Asa also perform here. And some other Asa groups, right, that come through. やっぱりみんな二来家内の歌が那覇大鼓が演舞したってことですよね。
そうそうそう。
I'm super excited to hear that one too. I know that once people are hearing your voice, right, they're just so excited. They want to hear more.
Real quick, Lynn, I think he started off by saying she asked him if what was his favorite performance, and he said, there's a lot of them, and you can't pick one. But he did mention, you heard him mention the Okinawa Festival here in Hawaii, of course. But then, in relation to Naha Daiko and Chinagu Asa, Naha Daiko is because they actually chose his song to perform their Asa, one of their Asa performances, or one of their Asa performances was to his song. So,
and that's what started the connection, right? With him and Naha Daiko. So
and talk about the meaning for this song. It has a very powerful title. What is the what's behind this song for you?
二来かなえの意味、その歌の意味は何ですか？何について？
二来かなえは、島の男の人は、船を漕いで、二来かなえから神様を連れてくる。で、島の女の人は、歌木とかでうとうとして、二来かなえから神様をお招きするっていう、その島の祭りが、ずっと続いていきますようにという、そんな思いで、はいはい。
So for those of you who, Niraikanae is kind of this place that's beyond in paradise, beyond in the ocean. Ne? And many, for most in Okinawa, traditionally, the men, get in their boats and you always kind of pray before you go in the ocean, right? And then you head out to Niraikanae. And then there's also, the women would traditionally stay back and they would pray for your safe return, right? And they're also praying that, this paradise that's out there, Niraikanai. And so there's a wonderful kind of image that Okinawans have. And there's this festival that's been going on for many, many years. Ne? Well, it's a traditional festival that involves this concept, of Niraikanai, and this place that we all have in our hearts. So it's like two Niraikanai. It's a very powerful image. Ne?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hi.
So we want to request.
Okay.
Niraikanai. We'd like to hear that song. I think a lot of people would definitely. But you guys can't tell, too. He's definitely. We're getting a very special private live performance. And if you haven't noticed from his other photos, he usually has a setup behind him. He has an audio, team. But today it's
band.
Suguru, and we are being allowed into his private home, and this is really special.
Hi.
Hey.
子孫なんえい島のまそれにちびさちびさちびさ両手合わせ意を込めて神々の歌よ未来から入りのさにミルクを乗せてありのさに湯がくを乗せて島のまそれに
Wow.
Wow.
I was kind of, in the background.
I could hear the drums.
I could hear the taiko.
Yeah, I could hear the taiko.
Ah, sugoi.
Yes.
Oh man.
Wow.
Like Kavika says, I love this unplugged version. I've heard many versions of that song, but I think this kind of raw, unplugged version is really a treat. Unplugged なんかアコースティックみたいな感じ。なんか普通はもうすごいね、
そうそう。
バンドと
今日は
か
三味線だけだから
三味線だけだからもう本当にシンプルな、でも本当にいい。
And I want to shout out to Tomori Sugiko-san. She said that she actually visited Funuoki.
Wow. So she did the whole planes, trains, and automobiles and boats. Tomori Sugiko さんが船浮き。
I love this song. ありがとう。直樹。
Yeah.
So we've heard him play the guitar. We heard him play the sanshin now. And I want to go back to, when he visited Hawaii, we went to Kanilea and Kaneohe. We went to their factory. And so while we were there, he met the whole family. And so he actually was signed by Kanilea to be one of their artists. And so, nice. All the way in Okinawa. They were so excited. Yeah, they're so excited to have an artist from Okinawa actually, playing their ukulele. And many of you folks know they make beautiful instruments. So that's why he has Kanilea. And so, but, we want to hear you play the ukulele. But first of all, that's Kahiao. And he got to see the whole factory and the whole works.
Yeah, he got to see the whole works.
But I want to show everybody what he's gonna sing about, because I asked him what can he play with the ukulele, and he told me he's gonna sing about a bird. And I said, "Oh, really?
What kind of bird?
What kind of bird? Good thing you asked. Oh. There it is, right there."
これはなんていう西表の
赤小瓶っていう。
赤小瓶。
僕なんかはゴッカローって呼んでる、ゴッカロー。
ゴッカロー。西表語の言葉で。
Yeah,
in Irio, so it's called 赤小。
赤小瓶。
赤小瓶。Ryukyu 赤小瓶。I looked it up and it's actually what they call a ruddy kingfisher. But what really is going to just shows Ikeda-san being a songwriter is that the beauty of this song, as he explained it to me earlier, was that this is a migratory bird. And so he sees that as symbolic of, the people of his island, and the happiness it brings when they return. So we all want to hear your song, Ikeda-san, on the ukulele.
Hi, thank you.
じゃあこの歌は何て言うんですか？
花鳥風月っていう歌。花鳥風月って言うんですけど。花鳥風月。
yeah. So real quick, yeah, どうぞ。Explain the title.
OK。
タイトルは
タイトルについてちょっと花鳥風月ってどういう意味ですか？
花鳥風月は花は花、フラワー。鳥は鳥、bird。風は風、wind。
はい。
月は moon。だから、all natural。花鳥風月。Japanese word で。花鳥風月。
wind, moon。
いや。みんなに、そういう自然に守られて、鳥も羽ばたいていって帰ってくる。だから、島の子供たちも、こういう自然に守られて、いっぱい世界を羽ばたいて、また島に戻ってきてほしいっていう思いが込められている。
Oh, that's beautiful. Just like how John said, he mentioned this song is about kind of, growing up in nature, especially in a place like Iriomote. You're surrounded by nature and you're kind of protected by it, but it also helps you launch into the world. And it also welcomes you back when you come back, right? The nature that you grew up in also welcomes you back. And so simply put, the direct translation of this song is flower, bird, wind, moon. But of course, it means so much more than that, right? The meaning behind the meaning. So, 花鳥風月.
Yeah. 花も鳥も風も月も恋をするこの島に春がやってきたここもそこもあそこも恋愛ラブそれぞれにおしゃれしてラブソングコッカルルコッカルル君も愛の歌を歌うのならこの空に届けよう僕も愛の歌を歌おう花は鳥を待ち鳥は風に乗り風は月を揺らし月は花を照らそう恋は巡り愛は溢れ音や色にそんな島であなた何を思うコッカルル愛の歌を連れてどこへ飛んでゆく見上げた空には恋の森君はどこへ泳いでゆく花のように笑う子供たちよ鳥のように羽ばたくは行動よ風のように月のように見守り続ける島の人たちよコッカルルコッカルル春を連れて島へ戻るその日まで流されて照らされて君の空へ飛んでゆけコッカルルコッカルル愛の歌が消えたこの大空に来る年も恋の森高々と舞い上がれThank you.
The first time I heard this song, I actually thought it was about a rooster, but it's not a rooster.
Oh, thank you. It's such a happy, cheerful song.
Happy.
He said that bird makes that noise, that cuckoo.
What does it do?
Yeah.
できないんだけど。Oh, well, thank you for sharing with us. I know that we're so excited to see you play sanshin, guitar, ukulele. You know, and also our very own Chokatsu, Tamayose-san, he says, Hawaii no Okinawa restaurant sunrise からも応援してますよ。ありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。Thank you very much.
And this is from, from our, for those of you here on Oahu, Sunrise Restaurant is our local, Okinawan restaurant hangout. And he's also, Sunrise is also cheering you on from Hawaii. So next time you come to Hawaii, we'll go there.
ね、早く来たいね。
ですよね。
行きたい。
So we know that, besides Okinawa, you also have played in many places all over Japan. ね、沖縄だけじゃなくて、日本全国であちこちで、パフォーマンスもしてるんだけど、東京、大阪、名古屋とか、いろんなところで、どういうふうに、やっぱ沖縄、西表から日本全国までに、どういうみんな、西表ってどこって感じって聞きますかね？
もうでも結構みんなね、知ってくれているので、初めの方はやっぱり西表の説明、船浮きの説明してたけど、今はもうみんなね、船浮きにも来てくれたりとか、船浮きが好きな人が集まったりとかするので、そうそう、今はね。
Maybe because of you, it's become much more famous, ね。Because of Suguru-san, Iriomote and Funauki in particular has become much more famous all over Japan. People, when he performs all over Japan, I asked him, do people wonder where Iriomote is? And he said, no, actually, people actually know where it is. Maybe in the beginning, they didn't know where it was, but 今みんな船浮きと西表のことは分かってるんだ。
知ってる。うん、知ってるね。
知ってるんだ。
They just don't know they have to go there by boat.
Yeah. 2 airplanes and 2 boats later.
Yeah.
そうそうそう。で、去年は、今年だったかな、ちょっと特別なオリンピック関係のことができましたよね。オリンピック東京沖縄。そう、maybe do we have that photo? それについてちょっと聞きたいんです。これい
つ？これは、1 May.
Oh, so very recent.
May 1st.
2 weeks ago, maybe, not even. So, how are you chosen to hold the torch? これはどういうふうに選ばれたんですか？なんかトーチ、オリンピックトーチを。
は、なんていうの、JAL に
勧められたんだ。
そう。で、やっぱりその、島をいっぱいアピールして、たくさん飛行機に乗って島に、お客さんをってことで。
Wow, sort of all the people, that could have held the... So, どこからどこまでトーチ。
これは、石垣アイランドね。石垣の中。
石垣。いいね。何キロ何キロぐらいか。
200 meters。短い。なんだけど、やっぱりみんなこういうふうに、もう結構大騒ぎですよね。 そうだね。あんまり、良くないけどね。コロナだから良くない。
コロナだからね。そういえば、コロナは、やっぱりみんな沖縄で結構大変、ハワイと同じように、やっぱ観光客の影響が大きいから。So, I'm sorry, I should probably ask in English too. So, he's saying, I asked him, how was he chosen for this, this honor to hold the Olympic torch? And this was in Ishigaki. And I asked him, how long did you get to run for? He said, just 200 meters, which is, I don't know. What is that?
2 football fields.
Yeah, maybe two football fields. Yeah. So he said very short, but what an honor, right? To be chosen. And he was recommended. It's a huge honor to be picked out of all
once in a lifetime,
ね、もう本当に人生に1回。
そうだね、1回しかない。
ね、
いい経験できた。
Yeah. But he said, it actually caused quite a stir in not every day the Olympic torch comes through your town, right? And so he was able to be one of the people selected to carry the Olympic torch. And you can see the crowd behind him kind of, it caused quite the stir all over Okinawa. And he said, there's a little bit scary too because the pandemic, right? We don't want too many people gathering. So I wanted to ask him, how is Okinawa faring with the pandemic now? And 今の状況、コロナウイルスの状況、どうですかね、沖縄は。
沖縄もまだやっぱりどうしても、なんていうのかな、観光で成り立ってるのでね、早く再開したいけれども、でもやっぱり病院もないし、おじいちゃんおばあちゃんたちも多いから、まだみんな我慢してますね。だからもう少しかかるかもしれないけど、まだみんなおとなしくしてます。
He said, yeah, still, it's a little bit of a difficult situation still. I think in Okinawa, there are over 100 cases yesterday or so, right? But they're still being patient. They want to reopen, more, but they're still having to be a little bit more patient. There's so many, senior citizens are, older population in Okinawa. There's so many of them, so they really want to make sure they protect them. So ちょっと我慢しないといけないんだね。
そうだね。
Yeah, there's just gotta hang on a little bit more. From Hawaii, we're all curious, when can we go to Okinawa again? ね、もうちょっとってこと。
もうちょっとね。もう少し。
Okay. でも、are you able to still perform music? 全国、
もうお休みしてる。もう全然やってない。お休みしてる。
難しいですよね。So I asked him, are you still able to perform around Japan, even though you can't leave the country right now? But he said, no, yeah, he's been taking a break. So we respect, your decision, but we're glad we can, technology ね、でこういう風にパフォーマンスまだできるっていうことは、
Well, he has to finish building the 5 rooms, so when we go, the rooms will be ready.
Yeah, I know, I need one. やっぱりこの新しい部屋が船木そうで、新しい部屋が来たから、じゃあ。
そう。で、ね、だから僕はメンバーがいっぱいいるので、ギターとかピアノとか、それがみんなと会えないからね。だからなかなか、そう。みんながもし近くにいたら、こうやってオンラインで演奏もできるけれども、僕の場合はメンバーは東京いたり、沖縄本島いたりするから、もう本当に何もかも休んでます。オンラインも休んでる。
Yeah, オンラインは本当は、like, we've realized through our many trials on Yuntaku Live, right? It's pretty difficult to do you can't do multiple locations and actually try to do an online video at live, at least. You have to have only one audio source. And so I'm glad he decided to join us today because he's not performing anywhere else right now in Okinawa. So this is a really special treat. Yeah. Glenn Higa asked, did you get to keep the torch? Keep.
トーチはね、船浮き層にある。船浮き層。
船浮き層にあるんだ。本当？ He said, yeah, he got to keep it. It's in the Minshuku, the 船浮き層. So when you go and visit, you can see it ね。なんか、あれは、すごい。いいね。
No, when I go to Funukiso, I'm gonna run around the block with the torch. I'm gonna borrow and I'm gonna run.
Yeah, you can.
200 meters. Right? I can go around 3 times, I think.
Oh my goodness. So, もう本当にこういうふうにコロナウイルスの中で、このパンデミックの中でもスグル池田さんの音楽が聞こえるっていうのはすごい感動してますね。I'm just really excited that knowing that you aren't playing anywhere else, this is really, really special for the rest of us. And I think I want to thank you again for joining us on Yuntaku Live. But we're not quite done yet, right? We have another song coming up. Yeah. All right. John, you want to introduce is this our finale song?
This is our finale song, but right before we get to that, real quick, just to show how talented he is, he even wrote a book. He came out with a book just recently last year.
So he's a singer-songwriter and a novel and a book writer.
And a book writer, and it was the reason I'm mentioning this is because his book, which of course I won't be able to read unless he translates the whole thing, is that it's about the inconvenience, the positive benefits of inconvenience. And I thought that was such an interesting title, in the sense that, because growing up on a small island and all the inconveniences, but it brings everybody together, So it was a powerful title, and maybe one day.
I would love to read, especially for those of us in Hawaii. I think this probably translates to anybody who lives
there it is
on the island. So he wrote a book called 不便の残してくれたもの。不便
が残してくれたもの。
その本についてちょっと
難しい。
難しい？
とってもその便利な世の中っていうのはみんながウェルカムしてるかもしれないけれども、その便利な世の中っていうのはその便利になりすぎてね、その
too convenient.
クレジットカードとその携帯電話があれば生きていけると。でそれでどうしても寂しくなってきてる。もうだからお金さえあればと。不便なこういう島っていう離島っていうのはお金があってもお店もない、サービスもない。だからみんなで支え合わないと、助け合わないと生きていけない。だから不便だからこそ残ってるものを大切にしたりとか、地域の絆があったりとか、子供たちとのつながりがあったりとか、本当に不便だから残ってきてるっていうのがいっぱいあって、そういうのをいっぱいもう言い切れないものをね、この本に書いてある。
で特にこのパンデミックの中でこれ多分みんな気づいてると思うんですよね。
そうだね。
特に。Yeah,
本当そうですね。
Okay, sorry. So let me back up a little bit. So just as John had kind of mentioned, he's talking about, there are things in life that are sometimes too convenient. Things like credit cards, your cell phone, and as long as you have money, you can survive. And there's a lot of, what we're realizing in this day and age is that things have become too convenient. And it isolates us from each other. We don't have to see each other to do anything, really, if we didn't want to. But what living on a small island in a small village has helped him and others realize too, is that living on a small island, there's so much that because it's inconvenient, you have to help each other. Because it's inconvenient, you have to support each other. Because it's inconvenient, you have to take 2 planes and 2 boats to get anything. You have to depend on each other. And they have, even though, and he's like, in a place like this, just because you have money, there might not be shops where you can buy things. So it doesn't necessarily, what it does is it forces you to, develop and create and have those relationships. And that's what he thinks is so important and so vital. And it's something that's maybe missing in our new, convenient lives. So wonderful insight. Let us know when you have an English version. ね。翻訳したらね、英語にみんなに読みたいわけ。みんなが。
Okay. 100年かかるね。
But I think that probably resonates. なんかハワイの人も多分あれを聞いてやっぱりそうだなと思うわけですよ。I think people in Hawaii that would really that resonates with them, right? There's a lot of things that we're learning that we need to depend on each other and be sustainable here, But at least you have internet, so we can do Yuntaku Live.
That's
glad,
true.
Yes. I'm very glad that you have strong internet, so we can, so that we can connect with each other. There are still good things, right? There are still good things that have come from things like the internet, but.
Yeah, like Kavika says, I like his message. We're being forced to act like our ancestors.
What a concept, right? Yeah. I mean, yeah, like we're, a lot of us have realized in the pandemic, like what you なんか隣の人とのやっぱり知らない人も多分多いかもしれない。でもパンデミックの中でやっぱり we have to talk to each other, we have to lean on each other ね。この絆をもっと強くするため。Yeah.
So getting back to the roots of pulling on our heartstrings, as so to speak, play on words. Ikeda-san will play his finale on the Sanshin. And so I leave it to you, Ikeda-san, to pick a finale song for all of us to celebrate Yuntaku Live today.
最後の歌だね。
最後の歌ね。最後は あと、沖縄のカチャシね。カチャシは、喜びもハッピーも、いいことも悪いことも全部かき混ぜて幸せになろうってことだから。だからもう、そう、もうパンデミックも大変だけど、みんなカチャシ、かき混ざして幸せになる。ハッピーになる。
I want to translate that real quick. I think what he said, like a lot of people, we know kachashi, right? But he said, you mix the good and the bad and whatever comes your way, and you choose happiness. You choose to celebrate. And that's a very, I think, Okinawan thinking, right? A very Okinawan way of life. So we even though the hard times come and even the pandemic comes, we still, you make time to celebrate. So, kachashi. どうしんどいかな。I think I was probably screwing I was clapping over here by myself. Oh, there you go. すごい。
久しぶりに片足を引いた。
久しぶりにね。
久しぶりに引いたね。
大きなイベントでみんなわーわーなんかやるんだけど、すごいI think one thing we learned in 2020 was how to kachashi on Zoom. ビデオでカチャシやるの人は多分多いかもしれないね。
なるほど、そうだね。
But we have, we just have to be patient and until we can all gather in big groups again and until we can travel to Japan and Okinawa again, ね、ちょっと我慢しないといけない. We have to be patient. Okay. But thank you again.
I want to thank Suguru Ikeda-san for joining us. It's always it's always fun when we get together, but even if it's just for Zoom, I think, or just this internet connection, it's always great to see you. We can't see all the viewers, but I can feel them, and I know they can feel you. And so I'm so glad that we were able to bring you into their living rooms tonight, and they learned so much, not only about you, but about a little place of 40 people called Funuki. And I know I want to go there, and I think a lot of people watching tonight want to go there. So, again, Ipe ni herebiru. Well, you're in Yaeyama. Is Mihayu.
And thank you for allowing us to, come into your home, literally come into your home. And thank you. Our guests are, you'll be able to watch this. Please share it with your friends. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like and subscribe for more content that we can bring to you. Even in the middle of this pandemic, I think it's a wonderful way for us to connect, right? ね。この絆を作るのはやっぱり大変なことなんだけど、大事にしないといけないってことですね。
And I want to thank all of you out.
Sorry.
I want to thank all of you out there that have been continuing to support HUA through your donations. And, with your donations, we're able to continue programming like Yuntaku Live. And we're building up for a wonderful, unfortunately virtual again, but a virtual Okinawa festival. And, we'll be able to keep in touch with people like Ikeda-san and have him maybe for virtual Okinawa festival. And again, thank you for all your support through these tough times.
Yes. Hey. Thank you
は
again.
い。
Thank you very much.
さん。
また、ありがとう。
またね。
Thank
また
you.
ね。
また、ありがとう。英語勉強しとくね。